I have got a really exciting meet the owner for you today for 3 very good reasons. The first is we're arriving by boat. I think that's the first time I've done that with a meet the owner. The second is there's a steam train going past. The third is that we're going to meet a guy with a Nordhavn. And 3 part B, because I didn't spot the steam train until the last second, is what he's doing with his Nordhavn, because it is a fantastic story, and I think you guys are going to be really interested to hear it. So yeah, looking forward to this one. This is going to be fun. I spy with my little eye something beginning with N. There she is, and Mark has very kindly put down fenders and lines ready for me, so we don't need to put them out. We'll do a quick circle of the boat, just have a little look, and then we'll come alongside. Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. Great to see you.
Permission to come alongside, sir?
Yeah, absolutely. Start when you think. Perfect.
No problem. There we go. Right, I'm going to put you down a minute while we do some berthing. Well, just I think bow probably.
Okay.
We better take Maggie, otherwise she'll sulk.
So have you been on board a Nordhavn before, Nick?
Once or twice.
Once or 100 or 200 times.
Let me pass you Maggie. There we go, and I'll step on over here, I think, and come down.
Oh, there you go. Can you get through?
Yes, I can, absolutely. There we are. Excellent. Now, the first thing to point out is the matching headgear. Have you seen this?
Ah, excellent.
Yeah?
Yes, Nordhavn, good advertising.
You're all logoed up there. That's fantastic.
I am.
Brilliant. So the reason that I wanted to meet Mark, actually, the first thing to mention is that Mark has a YouTube channel, because I've had a few people saying, have you seen Mark's YouTube channel? He's coming your way, you need to meet him.
Ah.
And so I've had a lot of messages from people saying...
Well, I've had a ton saying, you've got to have an interview with Nick, and I keep going back saying, I've got one organised, it's coming, it's coming.
Everyone's really keen on this.
Yeah.
So that's great.
Yeah, it's Awanui NZ, the boat name.
Brilliant. Okay, we'll put a link to that in the description, of course.
Oh, fantastic.
And I think the thing to say, when we will talk about this in more depth, we'll have a look at the boat first of all, but the most important thing to say is that you've just picked this boat up a few months ago.
14 months ago.
14 months ago. Is it really that long?
It is.
In my head, it's sort of that. Wow.
No, it's 14 months ago.
Wow.
And we've done 7,000 miles now.
That's incredible.
Yeah. So I'm going to New Zealand.
This
so
is
I'm now further away from New Zealand than when I started.
This is one of the things I wanted to talk to you about. Are you sure you're going in the right direction? Because I looked at a map and I'm sure New Zealand's the other way.
It is, but the other way's not very friendly.
Fair enough.
And my family's from the UK, and I just thought, look, while we're here, we've just got to come and have a look.
Totally.
So
totally
yeah, I came to Dartmouth. I've come to Dartmouth.
Yeah,
that's why I'm here.
Absolutely, fantastic. So we're going to have a good talk about that, because I think all of that, of course, is really interesting. But what would be great first, Mark, if we can, is to have a look around the boat with you.
100%.
And have a chat about it.
Yep.
We've done a full tour on one of these, so we don't need to go into every single thing, but it'd be nice just to have a walk through, see where things are, and see how it works for you as well.
Okay, well, while we're in here, if you like, big thing for me was when we left Tuzla, the Lazarette was full.
Right.
You know, but I've since decided, just having to get down there with autopilot, with rudder, all the electrical gear, I thought I'm going to clean it out. So check this out.
Wow.
Is that one clean Lazarette or what?
That is incredible. For a boat that's cruising.
Yep.
And I can certainly see what you say. It means you've got full access to all your stern gear.
It's just very close down there, you know. And to be honest, the storage on the boat is so fantastic.
Yeah.
I was able to take everything I had out in there, and I've just put it elsewhere.
Perfect.
So yeah. No, it's just nice to keep that. And when we get to the engine room, I'll show you.
Yep.
Clear.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. And interesting, I think, when you shut that, the solidity of these.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're Tonka toys, aren't they?
Yeah. It's like the boat build you know, we've had some issues
Yeah.
with the third party product.
Yep.
Boat build, you cannot fault.
Yeah.
You know, and it's solid. At times you feel uncomfortable, but never unsafe. We've been in 5 metre seas now, so
Wow.
yeah.
So you've tried it out.
Yeah. It's just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair
you
enough.
feel safe.
Yeah,
So,
that's the important thing.
yeah.
Right.
Aboard.
Thank you very much.
A Nui NZ mats that was sent to me from a chap in America.
That's very nice, isn't it?
Isn't it?
Yeah. That's great. I'll take my hat off and leave that with Maggie. There we are.
Yeah.
And here we go. It's interesting to come on board because, of course, I normally film these at boat shows.
Yeah.
And apart from a few little display items,
Yeah.
they're pretty bare. So it's very interesting to see one lived in with the books and the puzzles.
I did tidy up this morning.
Excellent.
Yeah, I did tidy up for you. It was a good incentive actually because my wife's coming back as well. So
Ah, right. Yeah. Now that's the incentive you need, really, isn't it?
yeah.
Fantastic.
So it's a good living area.
Yep.
Lovely big windows.
Yes.
You know, like the windows are just fantastic. They really are. And the lighting is just, you know, it just feels special and salubrious. You know?
Yeah.
They've done a really nice job of the interior design. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they've been doing this a long time now, haven't they?
Yeah, but I mean, this was like the second type out of Turkey.
Yep.
And the interior design, I mean, I'm sure Nordhavn had a big say in all of this, but the actual fit out in that and how things look, the light shades, the blinds, everything like that was organised by the lady at Telgren at Tuzla.
Okay.
So,
Wow.
and Jeff, the designer of the boat,
Yep.
he hadn't actually seen them until this was finished,
Right.
and he was just blown away.
Fantastic.
He just loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, should we have a look around the wheelhouse, or do you want to go down
Well,
first?
I mean, look, I think one of the real features in this boat's the Galley.
Okay. Yeah. No. Fair enough.
Yeah, I think it's brilliant because you've got a 5-hob induction,
Right.
full oven, and on battery power on anchor without the generator going. I can do a roast in the oven with 2 elements going, and it's fine.
That's amazing, isn't
Yeah,
it?
so that's 240 volts straight out of your batteries.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
You got lithium batteries on this one?
No,
Okay.
no AGMs.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm I mean, you know, I've been on board on my, not all the time on my own, but my wife left in November.
Yeah.
So I've been cooking a heap, you know. So
Yeah.
the Galley's kind of become my area now.
Yeah.
She's coming back, so she's going to have to watch out. She might be happy if I'm in the kitchen. But,
Yeah, I'm sure she will.
The Galley's fantastic, and the fridges, they've got 2 fridges DC, a freezer DC, but this freezer's AC.
Okay.
So you kind of got a bit of redundancy and, you know, different power sources for different things. But
And is that more fridges than standard? Because I don't remember when I went on the one that I saw, which was out.
it's standard.
That's standard, is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
it's
the
interesting.
51, the only options you get, choose your own tender, choose your own water maker, but it's all plumbed up for it.
Yeah.
And the third head can be storage if you want it, but the third head, fantastic.
Right.
Yeah, if you've got guests on board staying,
Yes.
and other people come on board, they don't have to go into people's cabins.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, so I'll show you that. It's great. Yeah.
Very civilized.
Yeah, but this area is fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, that's where I live, obviously.
Yep.
There you go, Pilot House, obviously.
This is a proper place of business, isn't it?
It is, and look, honestly, the whole dash and control panels are, when you look at other Nordhavns, they're busy.
Yep.
Switches, dials, which blokes like, everywhere, and you come on this and it's so simple. It really is.
Yeah, that's nice.
And the boat is incredibly manoeuvrable.
That's interesting.
Yeah, really manoeuvrable.
It's interesting that on this one they're putting the twin engines in rather than the single and a wing engine, and certainly from a manoeuvrability point of view, that's got to be a big bonus.
It is. Yep, it is. The twin engine has its challenges.
Right.
You know, just space in the engine room is, you'll see when we go down there, it's difficult.
Yeah.
But for handling, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I can get, according to the John Deere gauges, if I'm doing 5.5 knots, I'm burning 5.5 litres between both engines per hour.
Okay. Wow.
1 litre per nautical mile
Brilliant.
in a 34-ton boat.
Yeah, that's just exceptional, isn't it?
I think they're under-reading slightly, but they told me they're within plus or minus 3%. So
Okay.
um,
That's really, really good.
this is brilliant.
Yeah.
I've slept up here since Fiona went home.
Uh-huh.
I like to be up here when I'm on anchor on my own.
Yes.
And it really is a 1.5 bunk. You know, like it's spacious.
Yes.
Really is tons of room.
And I saw on your YouTube channel that you got told off for not making your bed.
I did. I did. And
So they're all watching, aren't they?
Yeah, every now and then I have to confess I forget.
Yeah.
But I have actually broken the habit.
Yeah.
And I'm 9 times out of 10 I can put my hand on my heart and say I make my bed now.
Brilliant.
But it's a great spot, this actually. Just
Yeah.
gonna have to entice me back down there.
Yeah. I'm sure she'll manage that.
It's good. It's great. That's a cool little feature.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's a good size, but folded up gives you access.
Yeah.
Lovely to have that much more room around here, but
That's boats though, isn't it?
It is.
You spend your whole life thinking if it's 5 foot bigger, but you'll go on like that until it's 200 foot long.
absolutely. Yep. What else is there up here? You know, it's good. It's good.
There's a camera.
Yes.
That's for the old vlogging.
Yeah, that keeps an eye on me.
Yep.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely it does.
Brilliant.
Yeah. So the master cabin, you remember from your main walk around, Nick, on the one at the boat show,
Yep.
is forward, and essentially the reason for that is it's the only cabin you can have the full wardrobes in.
Okay.
Yeah, the others are much smaller
Right.
wardrobes, so not wardrobes but drawers and that. So I guess for the owners, you know, this is where the wardrobes are, so they made this the main cabin. But I mean, you know, we could take the other one if we wanted to. But
Yeah.
I was going to leave it to the end, but there's a very, very best feature on the boat in this cabin.
Okay.
So
Intriguing.
if you come here,
Yeah.
I mean, look at that, right?
Yep.
It's pretty substantial, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So when you open those, you're thinking, oh my gosh, all right?
Just like room for your socks.
Yeah, but I mean, that is just so Nordhavn and so Telga in the factory where they do it. There's a bit of space.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you look at the work that's gone into that.
Yeah. Just to utilise that little
You know,
area.
and look, it's got our socks. you
Yeah,
know? Yeah. Could be a herb bracket. Could be a mini bar.
Fantastic.
Really comfy cabins.
Yep.
Beds are, you know, soft foam mattresses and that. So really comfortable as a liveaboard. I've been here now for nearly 10 months.
So have you not been home at all?
We picked it up in March last year from Tuzla.
Yeah.
And I went home in August for a month and a half.
Right.
But other than that, I've been on the boat, yeah.
Wow.
And it feels like home now.
Yeah.
You know, it's my home. Yeah.
You're going to go home eventually and you're going to think, wow, this house is so big.
Yeah. I'm actually when we get home, I'm quite keen to live on it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you told your wife that yet?
I think she knows. Actually, I think she's getting used to having a bit of time on her own too.
Brilliant.
You know? Yes,
Yeah.
there's a great head.
Yep.
Steps just down there in the shower, so if you're a bit tall like you and me, you know, it's a bit restrictive.
Okay.
But for shorter people, fantastic.
Yeah.
And the head in the guest cabin is just magic.
And the floor's slightly recessed, I think, isn't it? Do you step down slightly into it?
Very slightly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's just
just
effectively for the keeps the water flowing out through into the bilge if it blocks, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah.
Cool. Very good. Very
Very
good. All right, let's come back this way. I'll follow you.
Yeah. So I think the guest cabin in this boat is everybody that comes and stays with it, they love it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's
That is a really good size, isn't it?
for a guest cabin.
Yeah.
You know, it's just lovely big windows outside. These two beds separate. Yeah, this one can slide across.
Okay. Yep.
So you can have 2 singles,
Yep.
which I think is a really great option.
Yeah.
And the head for the guest cabin is just brilliant.
But it is almost, as you were saying earlier, you could call either one almost as an owner's cabin.
Yeah, if you're not worried about a wardrobe,
Yeah.
and you just want to put your clothes in drawers and that.
Yeah. If it's all shorts and t-shirts.
Yeah. What we love about that front cabin is very quick access to the pilot house.
Right. Yes, of course.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's whereas here you're up 2 sets of stairs.
Yeah.
So I do quite like that.
Yeah.
But
No, fair enough.
yeah, no, it's the guest cabins, and I mean when you pick the boat up,
Yeah.
the bed's made.
Uh huh.
You've got your robes.
Nice. These are actual
the Nordhavn roads.
Nordhavn
The
roads.
towels are all Nordhavn. The
Fantastic.
crockery's in place, the glassware's there, and your concept is, in theory, arrive,
Yep.
steam off.
That's brilliant, isn't it? Because I think it's really tight sometimes. You get some manufacturers and it's like, well, if you want fenders and warps, they're extra, you know, and stuff like this. And you think, nobody's going to not want those things.
Oh, no.
Just stick them on there.
The lines come with the boat, the fenders come with the boat.
Yeah.
You know, there's the...
day heads.
day head.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very good.
You know, that's so nice for people when they're staying with you and they've got all this stuff out in their cabin. You don't say, oh, is it all right if...
Of course.
You know, someone goes into your cabin to use the loo.
Yeah. So there's an option to have that as storage if you want, but you wouldn't.
I'm assuming it's still an option.
Right.
I don't think anybody's taken it, so I wouldn't be surprised if it becomes a standard feature.
That'll quietly disappear, won't it, off the options list?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
Look, you know, it's magic.
Yeah.
Of course, action stations in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, I was putting a lot of stuff down in here, but I've just decided no, this has got to be a clear area.
Yep.
So you've got your generator at the back. It's wet exhaust, obviously.
Yep.
So no dry stack. Hydraulic stabilizers. You got the fuel polishing system and the oil change system, which is just magic.
Yes.
Be lovely if that was also in the transmissions. It's not.
Right.
So you've got to do that the standard way. You can't have everything.
Yep. Fair enough.
And as I say, the access over the back, I don't know if you can see over here very well, Nick, but I mean, I did a impeller change a while ago and I'm literally over here like this.
Right. Yeah, so that's what you lose with twin engines, isn't it?
Yeah, and there's the impeller down in there.
Right.
And the oil dipstick, actually.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah, it is. It is. So
because I've seen them where they hand the dipsticks to the centre, which I always think is a really sensible idea.
You can actually have it changed over to here, so I will do that.
Yeah, that would.
But you know what? I mean, I've done 1,200 hours in the boat, 7,000 miles. That's been a great test for it.
Yeah.
And the number of changes I would make are so minimal. It's not funny, you know.
Yeah.
So it does show the experience, obviously, of the design and the boat builders.
Yeah.
They're brilliant, but that much more room over there.
Yeah, that'd be nice to have. Yeah.
Yeah.
But back to if the boat was only a little bit bigger, aren't we? And you'll do that forever. I don't care what size boat you've got. And I was a yacht broker for many years, and I would see people, they'd be on like their fourth or fifth boat, and every time it was, well, if we had one more cabin, then that would be great, perfect.
Yeah.
And then 2 years later, well, if that one more cabin had an ensuite, then it would be perfect.
Yeah.
And then 2 years later, well, if we had a crew cabin as well, that would be perfect. And on you go. And it's really easy, I think, sometimes to get caught in the loop of wishing for things.
Yeah.
When actually what you want to do is look at what you've got and think, this is brilliant.
Oh, I mean, I'm so pleased with it, and you know, look, one of the things I did wonder about is were the engines perhaps a little bit overpowered, because to get the best fuel economy, you do have very low engine power settings. And I brought that up with Nordhavn, and they said, "Oh, we just can't win." He said, every time you get a new boat with someone in America, they say, "Doesn't it have bigger engines?" You know,
No, I
want bigger engines.
Yeah,
you know?
I have this. I won't call it an argument, but discussion.
Yeah.
Over and over again in the comments, particularly with Nordhavns and other displacement boats as well. And people say, they'll just say things like, well, if I had that boat, I'd put engines in twice as big so it's faster. And I say, no, that's not how physics work. If it's a displacement boat, no. Once it hits its maximum hull speed, the only way to make it go faster is to get it out of the water like a planing boat, in which case you need a lot more power. But if it's a displacement hull, which this is, designed for low speed economical running, doesn't matter. You could stick 10 engines in there, it ain't going to go any faster.
Yeah.
You want engines that will take you up to the maximum speed plus a little bit more, so you're not ragging it, and you're done.
Yeah, well this boat, if we're doing 950 RPM on both engines, as I said, will burn 5.5 litres.
Yep.
And we're doing 5.5 knots.
Yep.
If I go to 1300 RPM, we double the fuel flow for 1 knot.
Yep, exactly.
That's all.
Yep.
If we go full noise, we'll get 10.3 knots is the best I've seen,
Yep.
and then we're burning 78 litres an hour.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And that's the whole point of displacement boats.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's just, you know, range and economy.
Yeah.
But you know, they're beautiful engines. They just quietly hum away all day.
Yeah. I think people equate it to cars. It's understandable. You just think, well, if you buy a 2 litre car, it goes that fast. If you buy a 3 litre version, it's faster.
Yeah.
But that's just not how boats work, going through the water.
No.
But is that fair enough? People don't understand that, and
Yeah.
you know, I don't criticise anyone for saying it, but I
Yeah.
do explain it to people quite often.
Yeah.
So you've got track stabilisation, it looks like.
Yep. ABT track
Yep.
hydraulic stabilisation only off the starboard engine.
Right.
It would be nice to modify it to have it off both.
Yep.
And then perhaps we could, on a long trip, maybe shut one engine down.
Okay. Yeah.
But look, you know, if we find that it's going to be okay, we're talking to John Deere at the moment about how to look after the engines at such low RPM.
Yes.
And if they're happy that we'd use the low RPM with the odd blowout,
Yep.
then I'm fine running 2 engines.
Yes.
But if they want me to do 1300 plus RPM, I don't want to double my fuel flow for 1 knot.
Yeah. No, of
So
course.
then I think it would be nice to be able to have hydraulics on both and perhaps shut one engine down. But
Yeah. And are they turbo engines?
turbocharged.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they do like to be worked, don't they?
Oh yeah, yeah. Two John Deere 160s, 4-cylinder, turbocharged.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. And I do all the maintenance myself, so I'm getting to know these babies very well. We're
Yeah.
on a first name basis. I call them John.
Excellent. Excellent. Very good. And we've got the laundry facilities are here as well.
It's fantastic.
Yeah. Looks like they're all in use.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
I just had friends leave, so
Uh-huh.
I've done the laundry and stabilisers just up in here.
Oh yes, there they are.
So there's a bit of room for them. They're okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice packaging, isn't it? Actually.
Oh, very.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was very fortunate. The last 3 months of the build, I was able to be in the factory,
Oh, nice.
and they were so welcoming, and I learned so much.
Yeah, that's a great thing to do.
Yeah, and I saw the passion that they built with.
Yeah.
You know, so the Turkish workers were so proud of their work.
Yeah.
Yeah, they come and grab me and say, "Come and have a look at this. Come and have a look at this." You know?
Brilliant. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Hey, you want a cup of tea or?
No, I'm absolutely fine.
sure?
Thank you very much. Yeah, no, I'm great.
So.
There we go. Shall we wander around the outside?
turn right,
And then I think it'd be great to sit and have a chat about your story, because I'm sure people will be really interested with what you're doing with this boat. Excellent. Maggie's fallen over, look drunk again probably.
What's that? Sorry.
Maggie the baggy.
Yeah. So obviously, typical Nordhavn, one walkway.
Yeah, how do you find that in terms of
Fine.
use? Yeah? Yeah.
No, honestly, Nick, because I mean, look, it's the only Nordhavn I've ever had.
Yeah.
I do love coming alongside on the starboard side. If someone tells me to go on the port side,
Yeah, that's a bit of a tricky. Yeah. No, fair enough.
So, you know, obviously normally a boat this size has the walk around Portuguese bridge.
Yep.
But they decided just to put these on.
Gotcha.
So if the water comes in, it goes over the side, and
Yep.
it gives you your full headroom in the cabin.
Of
Full cabin,
course. Yeah, that makes sense.
which is good.
It's all a compromise, isn't it?
Ah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally, yep. Probably the only thing that they ever got wrong
Yeah.
was the drains at that end,
Oh,
and the boat
yes.
just ever so slightly sits tail down.
Yeah, of course.
Every single other one works perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is like a scupper there, isn't there? But it's not
it'll-
quite
look,
high
if
enough.
it fills up, it'll go out.
Yeah.
But often there's just a little puddle here.
Yes.
Not much you can do about that.
No, fair enough.
You know?
We'll paddle through.
In fact, when the boat went in the water for the very first time, she actually just sat beautifully level that way
Yeah.
and just ever so slightly tail down.
Yeah. Fair
And
enough.
look, the top deck and fly bridge,
Uh huh.
they're just magic. So we've got it's a 3.1 tender.
Yep.
This is where all the stuff out of the Lazarette and the engine room went. 3 lockers,
Ah.
full width back in there, suitcases,
Wow.
all my spares, oil, cleaning gear, you know.
Yeah.
And I've still got room in there. It's not
Yeah.
like it's, you know, cram-packed.
No, that's good.
They're brilliant.
Yep.
Crane is fantastic.
Yes.
Absolutely quiet.
Uh huh.
Yep, it's fantastic. And this area in the...
So can you launch and recover on your own with that
Yep.
easily?
Yep.
So you drop it in the water, keep the hold of the painter, and then just get down into.
No, I just drop it with the line.
Yeah.
And then leave it on the crane so it can't go anywhere.
Oh, I got
And
you.
then I go downstairs.
Yeah.
That's how I ended up in the drink the other day.
Right.
So I had 1 foot in the tender, 1 on the boat,
Ah.
1 on the line,
Yeah.
and 1 on the chain. And then it started moving and it was all over.
Yeah, we've all done it at least once, so we
Yeah.
learn.
So I mean, this area is just is fantastic in the summer.
Yeah.
It really is. I put 1.4 kilowatts on the top.
Yep.
And I've just got the bimini away being altered slightly. That'll go back on.
Okay, so that goes underneath those panels. So
yeah.
you see the underneath of the bimini normally, not the panels.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotcha.
And then a little bimini on the back as well, just to stop the sun coming in down here.
Yep, makes sense.
We've got the obligatory Starlink up there these days.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, and everything that's downstairs is upstairs. You know, you've got the nice radio still.
Yep.
All the gear.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Electronic steering.
Oh right, okay.
And electronic engine.
Right.
So no hydraulics or cables.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah. Excellent.
We've had 8 people up here having a meal.
Nice.
You know, you just move, sit around, and it's fantastic space. This folds back if you wanted to.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Going through, if you want to go through some of the canals and that.
Right. So hinges. You see the hinge through that end.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big job. I mean, with this, obviously, it's a major. But,
Yeah. But if you had to, you could.
If that's what people want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a great area.
Perfect.
Takes 2.5 hours to shampoo the boat.
Ah, interesting. Interesting.
Right.
Yep.
New Zealand flagged.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's a New Zealand flag boat.
Brilliant.
That's the it's a little cabin ventilation into the guest cabin, and legally the second exit.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah, you have to have 2 ways out.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense.
So, great vents and fans for the engine room.
Yep.
Like cools really quickly if you want it to.
Yep.
Good under companionway storage there for lines or fenders.
That's very helpful.
Yep. And these, I mean, I don't know if you noticed it at the boat show, but you know these are flanged
Right.
on this side and that side.
Okay. Yeah.
There's no join, so that's welded in place and polished.
Wow.
It's beautiful. These are just beautifully done.
Yeah.
And the guys that do the siliconing are just craftsmen.
Yeah.
You know,
And massive cleats about the place as
oh
well.
yeah.
Here and here and so forth.
Yeah, no, they're good.
And it's interesting they keep this completely open. They don't put any seating out here at all.
No. And it was originally designed with a ladder. I think it was over here.
Right.
And they decided to get rid of it. It just took up so much space.
Yeah.
And this is a beautiful area.
Yeah.
So we'll get some furniture when the time's right. You just got to make sure we get the right furniture, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that little disc chap there on the top.
That's your backup steering.
Okay, gotcha. Yep.
Haven't tried it.
No, haven't needed to, obviously.
Steering from here would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I think we'd tie it off and just hold her heading.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just use the engines a little bit.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Totally.
Yeah.
That has been fascinating.
Yeah.
But what would be great to do now is have a sit down and have a chat about your boating.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
Okay, let's go
come
do
on.
that.